Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How's It Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beers we're going for tonight are these two. It is Hobgoblin Ruby and Lidl's Hatherwood Ruby Ale. And as you may have seen on the last few Sundays, we're doing a comparison between the original version of the beer and the little upstart that the supermarkets have decided to copy. Well, I say copy. In this instance, Hatherwood's is a brand name that's labelled on top of a beer that is actually brewed by Marstons, who also brew Hobgoblin. So there are a couple of small differences in the beers, namely the price. The Lidl one is about $1.19 a bottle. The actual Hobgoblin Ruby is a little bit more, about $1.39, $1.49, something like that. Ruby from Hobgoblin is 5.2%, and the Hatherwood Ruby Ale is only 5%. Otherwise, you know, the branding's very similar. You've got the same sort of colours, you've got the same kind of stripped back label, the position of the name, and everything is almost identical. So yeah, there we go. Now, I haven't had a Hobgoblin Ruby for about 2 years. It was the, about 2 years. When the pubs were still doing takeaway beer during lockdown, it was the last time I had some. My good lady wife works at the Stafford Arms in Bagnall, and she brought me home a growler of Hobgoblin Ruby. So yeah, here we go. Anyway, as always, we are going to do the challenge blindfold. So we're going to have one beer in one glass, and my able assistant will be deciding which beer into which glass. I will not see, and we'll give it some points as always. So we're going to go for the usual 5 pillars of judgment: the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. But before all that jazz, we're going to go and remind you of the aid memoir from Untapped, which says Hobgoblin Ruby's had an astonishing 186,000 check-ins of an average of 3.41. Hatherwood Ruby a bit less than that by quite some way, actually, 2,900 and an average of 3.23. So pretty close, not identical. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. So scoreboard of joy is as follows, like so: empty, Hobgoblin on the left, Lidl's version on the right, and a point will be awarded to the category winner. So, without further ado, I'm going to use my trusty Saracen scarf and blindfold myself so I can't see a thing. And yeah, let's see how this one goes. Alright, usual test. Are you holding up some fingers?
Yes.
I ain't got a clue. It's as black as the ace of spades in here. So, without further ado, would my able assistant decide on a beer and a glass and show them to the camera?
Okay, so this beer is going to go into this glass. Remember? This beer, this glass.
Alright, crack it open and pour me about 3 fingers worth in the glass so I can have a good sniff and a taste when the time comes.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, hold on. Right, okay, so we've got one in there.
Okay,
Go for the next one.
Obviously this beer now has to go into this glass.
I don't think I've realised I won't be able to smell anything because my nose was covered. All I can smell at the minute is my roast beef dinner that I've not long since destroyed. Right, we have 2 beers. Okay.
Yes,
do we have a good amount of each?
Yep.
And you remember which is in each glass?
Yes.
Okay.
This beer is in this glass.
Right, so let's have a whiff. We're going to start with the left hand. Malty and fruity. Oh, very, very similar. Very similar. So just Can't quite sniff it properly. That is almost impossible to tell between the two. That is nigh on impossible. However, it's very subtle differences. There is no real winner between these two. And what I'm noticing, when I go from one to the other, the one I smell second seems to smell stronger. Yeah. But I'm going to give the point to this one. It's very subtly more
Okay, been pointed.
on the nose. Point scored?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go for the body test. Starting with the loser. Light to medium. Quite high levels of carbonation. But otherwise, not bad. Similar body, smoother carbonation. The point goes to this one.
Okay. Points has been awarded.
Okay. Flavour test. Starting with the loser again. It is malty. There's an element of sort of the lighter end of the dark fruit, so raisins, sultanas, that kind of thing. Twiggy hops, always a good thing. And this one, tastes a little bit more alcoholic, in as much as the alcohol is more obvious. It's not as nice as the winner, which is this one.
Okay. Points has been awarded.
Okay, so we've had the aroma, the body, and the taste. So we're going for the finish. And on a beer like this, I like it to be malty and relatively long. So that's what we're going to go for here. And an element of twiggy hops always goes down well. So we're going to start with the loser, which is this one. Yeah, this one is... the alcohol, even though it's not huge at 5 or 5.2%, it's prominent, and it's not got the fruits that are sitting there in the malts. It's a little bit more bitter, which in a beer of this style I quite like, but this one, is smoother, it's maltier, it's fruitier, the hops are well balanced. The point goes to this one.
Okay.
So, what I want you to do now
is hide the scoreboard.
is hide the scoreboard of joy and pour a little bit more of each beer into each glass, because I don't think there's much left in either.
There's quite a bit.
Well, a bit more in each, please. Please, barkeep.
Not a barkeeper. Very rude.
The final test will be the looks. Got it safely?
Yep.
Right, hold on to the glass. Make sure it's not obvious that you've got the beer. Yeah? So I'm going to take the scarf off. Oh, it's like being interrogation. Right, pass me the beer. Yeah, there's not a lot left, is there?
There
Right,
was.
okay. So, looks-wise... oh, wow, there's a difference in colour.
Yeah.
This one is more ruby coloured. This one is definitely more golden, not as dark. Points going to this one in the lemmy glass. And off the back of that, I know which one is which. And I knew it from the taste, to be fair, and the finish. So I'm going to say at this point that this one in the Vocation glass is the Lidl Hatherwood Ruby Ale. And this one in the Lemmy glass is the OG Hobgoblin Ruby.
You're correct.
I am correct. Yeah, I knew I would be. So we have a 3-2 win for Hobgoblin Ruby. So yeah, one on the looks and the taste and the finish. Interestingly, I preferred the body of the Lidl one. Just a bit smoother. You know, the Hobgoblin's a little bit more gassy, a little bit more spiky in the mouth. And the aroma, like I say, it was very, very subtly better, shall we say, on the Lidl Hatherwood Ruby. But the important thing is the taste really matters, and Hobgoblin wins the day. So yeah, 3-2 win. Not as wide as some of the other ones have been. Those have been 4-1 wins. We had a shutout last week, didn't we? Yeah, we absolutely had a shutout. A 5 out of 5. So this is the closest one yet. There's 1 point in it. It was very, very close.
Expecting the.
So there we go. But what this tells me is that there are some pretty decent beers out there, and if you don't mind saving yourself 20p or so on a bottle of Hatherwood Ruby Ale, you're going to probably enjoy it. It's not quite as smooth, it's not quite as fruity as the OG Hobgoblin, which, by all accounts, you know, even though Carlsberg have got involved and ruined things in a big, big way by cutting back the brands and changing the labels and generally screwing with all good things, Wychwood, Hobgoblin Ruby remains to be a decent twiggy brown beer if you like that sort of thing, which I do. So there we go. There we are. So, ladies and gents, we're at that point of the video where we say thank you to my able assistant.
Hello there.
And we say, these have been the beers, I've been me, those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You get your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye.